Hey, what's going on, guys? We are back here with another video, and this is going to be just a quick gameplay highlight. This isn't going to be like a full review or like a full in-depth video, but I had a pretty good little sequence here in the beginning cap of this map, and it's got some pretty decent tips for like higher tier destroyer gameplay and kind of how to play around radar. We're playing the Kitakaze here today, which is a decent, an excellent gunboat in the game, but a only decent cap contester because of concealment and whatnot. But this is a tier 10 match, of course, because you're playing tier 9, so you're going to be in a lot of tier 10 games. There are several radar cruisers on the enemy team, including in Des Moines, Alaska, and they do have 4 destroyers on their team, so there's almost guaranteed to be one in the cap we're going to go up against. So this is going to be, I just wanted to show like this first few minutes of the video because I thought it was a pretty well played deal. It's not a massive amount of damage, it's not a Kraken or anything crazy, but it's got some decent stuff in it. So we're going to go to the A cap because we do have a we're already over here, and because there's multiple destroyers in this game, we should have no issue going to get this cap early. If I was like maybe the only destroyer, I'd try to be more central, but because there's plenty, no reason not to go to A cap early. Look around to see who's coming with us. We do have it Harugumo coming with us, which is just the Kitakaze's big sister, big brother. We have a battleship and a cruiser. I think a Salem is what's following us. So, in high tier games, you have to always be thinking about radar. It's your number one threat. So you have to be considering what the other destroyers are in the game and which radar ships are in the game that you have to be looking out for. Obviously, for us, Des Moines and Alaska are the two because any cruiser, any American sounding cruiser tier radar above is going to have radar. So as we enter this cap, we kind of have to play this a little bit safe. We don't want to go right into the middle and try to smoke up if we get detected or something because we're just going to get radared and we're going to get blapped. So what I like to do in tier 9 and tier or high tier games is just kind of scout around the outside of the objective for a minute. If you don't cap the objective in the first, if you're not the first one in the cap, it doesn't matter. You can even let the other team have the objective if they're playing more aggressive early. So what I like to do is I like to stay outside of the buoys to not give away my position that I'm in the cap. Because if you go into the cap and the enemy team sees it starting to be contested, they know a destroyer is in there. Or they know someone's in there, and if they can't see you, they know it's a destroyer. So a radar ship then knows, hey, if I'm within the cap's range of my radar's in the range of the cap, I can smash it. This usually works. However, in this game it doesn't. But notice how I came around the island. I didn't go into the cap, and I get radared because this guy playing the Des Moines literally just drove up to the cap and smashed his face on radar before he even knew anyone could have possibly been here. But I had made my cut around the island to where I knew I was going to get in trouble. And I notice I don't smoke, I don't panic, I just turn away, I start dodging, do eat some shells there, but I just turn away from the cap. You know, I can't really get behind the island, but I had an out instead of being nose into the Des Moines and everything and being instantly having to make a full turn in front of them. I was already kind of angled away, and we just simply disengaged in this fight. We get out of the Des Moines radar range, and it ends, and we are it's safe for now. So now we have the Kitakaze smoking up right there in the middle of the map. He's going to try to smoke up and get some farming damage in. Amagi gets apparently blasted by, I think, Salem or whatever the battleship was over here. So now we have a couple pieces of information. That Des Moines behind the island, not the one closest to me, but the one outside of the cap, just behind that one. Des Moines players, when they have an island they pick, they're not going to move. Until you kill them, they're not going anywhere. That Des Moines is going to be there the entire game. So we know there's a radar cruiser here, and we know that there's a Kitakaze in the cap. So I'm letting him have the cap right now. I'm in no rush to get into this cap. I'm not going to, the game's not over if they hold this cap for 30, 45 seconds. My first torpedo salvo was in case the Kitakaze is leaving its smoke. I know that guy's probably going to want to sit in the smoke for a while, but he may realize I don't have any targets, and he may be trying to leave the smoke, and I may catch him off guard, leaving his smoke and coming out trying to scout. The other torpedo salvo I'm going to smash my reload booster for is to try to see if I can torpedo this Des Moines. I'm probably not going to get in, but if he stays being greedy and he tries to stay there and battle tank and try to farm damage, we might get a lucky torpedo hit or two, or if he stays there for like another 30 seconds, 45 seconds, and then tries to back up behind the island, we may catch him broadside and get 2 or 3 torpedoes. It's worth a reload booster. It may not work, and clearly in this case, this guy is, full on getting out of here. He probably has a legendary mod, and he is going to escape in pretty good amount of health. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go back forward, but again, we're going to kind of use this island to my left. I want to get back in here, and now I want to scout. And I've also noticed this too. This Kitakaze is still in his smoke. Thinking about smoke timers, I know his smoke can't last much longer, and I want to be in a position to scout this guy. I want to be able to spot him for my team so my team can do damage. I can get some damage in, but it's more important that I spot this guy for my team. And I'm going to try to bait him into shooting me because I have an island close to me. I purposely pulled behind this island to my left, so you're going to see it in a second. I'm going to shoot this guy a couple times, I'm going to get some damage in, and then I'm going to go ahead and get behind the island because if Des Moines comes back out, I'm in trouble. But now, I baited Kitakaze into shooting me, but he's not behind cover. He's out in the open, and now he has to accelerate and get away from my whole team, and because he shot his guns, he's spotted for at least 20 seconds, but he continued to shoot, so now he's just spotted almost constantly. I get radar. Des Moines tries to come back out. I slip behind the island and I just sit here because I'm radared, but they can't shoot me because I was planning on that radar being cooled down. We remember he radared us early. He was probably going to have it again. So he threw it back in full forward, tried to get out here to radar me, and instead he gets to look at me behind an island, and I am safe from the Des Moines. So we're going to give this a few more seconds, and then we're going to try to maybe sneak out and do some damage. The Kitakaze's dead. They don't have another destroyer here, so now I get to have the cap for free. So instead of YOLOing in the cap, trying to contest it right away and dying, I simply just played patient, gave him 20, 30 seconds, gave him the cap for a minute or so. It's not a big points difference in the beginning of the game. And now I'm going to farm this Magi because I have an island on my right that's keeping me protected from the Des Moines. I haven't seen many other ships between A and B because I have a Roma between me and B, so I know if there's another ship close, he'll spot them. And I'm going to farm a Magi because he's not paying attention to me. His guns aren't turned towards me. He's not a threat, so there's no reason not to just get some free damage in. We get about a couple thousand damage in on him, and we had a couple thousand damage on Kitakaze. Um, but I'm going to go ahead and start moving now because Des Moines and Amagi are likely to stay kind of backed off. Now, this game actually winds up being a complete train wreck because that Des Moines basically kills everyone that drives at him, which you'll see in a minute. But if this game was kind of more realistic, it would kind of be the point where my team was pushing through this cap, Des Moines and Amagi would be then forced to leave, and I'd be able to go ahead and head off towards Bravo and try to get another cap for my team instead of sitting around here or chasing these guys across the map. I want a torpedo, but Roma is pushing this Des Moines pretty aggressively, so I don't really have a reason to torpedo. I don't want to put my Roma in a bad spot. He's going to attempt to rush a Des Moines. Now, here's the thing: you don't ever rush a Des Moines. I don't care what ship you're playing because you're going to lose. Des Moines is a ridiculously powerful ship in this game, probably the most overpowered ship in the game. That's not a premium, but I'm going to start opening my guns up on him, and this is risky, but I'm doing it because I think this guy is going to have to pay attention to Roma more than me. So now, right now, I've got a potential to do free damage. Like I've said with destroyers, it's always a challenge to know when to use your guns. For example, right now, this is a good time. This guy he has to focus down Roma. He doesn't have time to pay attention to me. I kind of screw up, and I get stuck behind the island a little longer than I wanted. I get my speed boost so I can get back to farming this guy. But I'm trying to do as much damage to help him as I can. But unfortunately for Roma, instead of slowing down, staying bow in, and forcing a fight that way, he's just going to just drive broadside right in front of Des Moines. Des Moines is going to load AP, and he's going to nuke him off the face of the earth in a couple seconds, because that's what Des Moines does. Yep, 5,500 or so damage, and then Roma dies from the fire. We're getting fire damage. We try AP on the Des Moines, but he angles back to us pretty fast. And now I'm accelerating because I don't want to be caught by this Des Moines guns anymore because I can only take a couple hits of those guns and I'm going to go down. I may have been able to kill him. It looked like I probably could have been able to actually kill him. I would have sat there a little bit longer. But after seeing 3 ships YOLO into a Des Moines and just get absolutely wrecked, I was already about over it. I stopped by on the island, and I kind of realized at this point this game was pretty much over. I had like two ships hiding behind Charlie. Our 2 ships are over here. Both of them were almost dead. And my team basically fell apart. And then a couple seconds later, I get torpedoed by, I think their Kitakaze, or their gearing, rather. He gets a torpedo hit on me, and those gearing torps are pretty disgusting. Do 10,000 damage. I'd already used my repair, and I get hydroed, I think, by the Des Moines or somebody, and I get deleted a few seconds later. But at this point, I had realized the game was probably over. If that Des Moines had been dead, I probably would have been thinking, okay, hey, when I'm moving towards Bravo, there might be a destroyer coming over here since they have the other caps, or had them, or we had the cap now, so it means whatever destroyer was in there was left, and something like that. But But that beginning sequence up until the time we had disengaged in that Des Moines the second time, I thought was pretty good and was worth sharing. So if you're kind of struggling with some high tier gameplay or being radared or not, hopefully that was a little helpful. Maybe it wasn't. But yeah, the rest of this game was trash. Our other two flanks didn't really do anything, and this Des Moines just heals up and kills everyone. He kills Haragumo, and then people in the chat actually have the audacity to defend the Des Moines and tell me that it's actually not that good of a ship or whatever, which is the hottest of hot takes I think I've ever heard in history and time. But that's another story for another day. So, yeah, that's what I got for you today, guys. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.